Ironwood Games. This is Andrew, and I'm going to be doing a premiere draft of Strixhaven. So thanks for joining. Let's jump in. All right. Here we go. All right. Strict Proctor. Flying. Whenever a opponent enters the battlefield, causes a triggered ability to trigger. Counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. ETBs. I really like this Rutha in Prismari. I don't know if ETBs are a big enough thing. A 2 mana 1/3 with flying is pretty good. Kelpie Guide can be good for doing tricks and other things. Blood Researchers, good in like Witherbloom. Pest Summoning is pretty good. Eureka Moment is not too bad. I'm going to take this Strict Proctor. There's some other good cards. We're going to see. I don't know that we'll end up in white. And get there. I like this Owl and Shield Mage a lot. Witherbloom Pledge Mage is pretty good. I'll reserve that one just for now. Field Trip I think is good, except for it only finds forests. Resculpt can be fine. Stone Rise. Let's see. Spell Satchel. Put a book counter. So it taps for mana or drawing a card. That's interesting. Basic land. Put 0. The Emergent Sequence is interesting. The question is this Radiant Scroll Weaver. Is that better? I'm going to try it. I don't know. It kind of goes... I think the Emergent Sequence is a good pick as well in that. All right, Callous Blood Mage. I don't necessarily really like this card. It's not bad. It's a 3 mana 2/1 with a ETB. Strict Proctor definitely turns that off. Quandrix Apprentice is pretty good. Teach by Example is okay. Blood Researchers is good. The Stonebound Mentor can be really good if we want to go in and kind of force this. I don't know that we want to. Biomathematician is also pretty good if we're already there. I think I'm going to take the Quandrix Apprentice just because I think it might be the best card and leaves us kind of open and we can still see what we get. Abundant Harvest is interesting. I don't know that it's great. Fractal Summoning. I don't care for Defend the Campus. Frost Trickster's good. Crushing Disappointment can be good. Both of these, I think, push us into... We're seeing some decent Quandrix things. I think the Frost Trickster might be the best card in this pack. It would be fine in Quandrix if we see some of this stuff wheel. I'm also considering the Fractal Summoning. The Strict Proctor definitely turns off Frost Trickster. There's was nothing in there that went with our Lorehold. It looks like Lorehold outside of the Illustrious Historian. This Hall Monitor is okay. There's nothing great that might be getting cut a little bit. Arcane Subtraction is interesting. I don't really care for Leech Fanatic. Mage Hunter's Onslaught, I think, is just the best card. Probably here. Inkling Summoning is very good and can be as well. One of the better cards. Spiteful Squad is okay. I do think Mage Hunter's Onslaught is the best card left in the pack here. And we're pretty open here. I mean, there's lots of options, but I think we'll just take this good card and see where that puts us. Honor Troll is interesting if you go Witherbloom Life Gain. I don't care for the Magecrafts that are just +1 or even +1/+1. I don't think are the greatest. I think this Pledge Mage might be the best card. Again, left, and we're seeing green, blue, black kind of as what seems open, so we might have a weird Witherbloom Quandrix seat. Fractal Summoning's considerable. Because this is hybrid, I wanted to take it. If it was not hybrid, I would have considered the Honor Troll. The same thing with this Pest Summoning. I think I want to take it because it lets me go. Even if I end up in Quandrix, these are playable. The Spined Karok is good. Yeah, I don't think that's good enough for anything that we're in. The Lorehold Pledge Mage is a good card. But I think Pest Summoning is just as good, if not better. Elemental Masterpiece is fine. Based on what we've seen and what we have, I think we're trying to kind of figure out whether we want to go Quandrix, Witherbloom, or what. So Arcane Subtraction would let us learn. It's a fine combat trick. Cram Session also lets us learn. And it's a little bit more open as far as being 2 colors and letting us, if we're black, green, splash, blue, it's easier to do. We want to learn these things. I do want to try and prioritize like the summoning lessons and the learns. If we could get that Inkling on the wheel, like that would be a great pickup. Draw 2 cards is fine. I don't think it's a good enough wheel. Waterfall Aerialist might be just the best. I think we'll take the Kelpie Guide as a safe. Fortifying Drought might be better, but could be interesting to pick up. Here, I do want that Emergent Sequence now that I'm pretty sure I'm in green. That'll also let me do some fixing because it's any basic land card, so it's slightly better than the one that just gets forests. Yeah, so there's some decent stuff passing, but I like where we're at. The Stonebound Mentor that we talked about was decent. Considering the Archway Commons, just because we need colors, I don't really want Reject. But creating a 1/1 Fractal seems good. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. We had in the next pack here, we had a second one. I was thinking that if it wheeled, those two kind of work together really well. I wouldn't mind some of these campuses, something that would give us something. I think we'll take the Prismari as if we use that in place of one of our islands as our blue splash. Or we might end up in... we'll take the Reckless Amplimancer. We might end up in Quandrix splashing black. We'll take the Befuddler. I don't know how much that makes it. Ooh. This is very interesting. I don't know that it's good. It definitely could be good in like Commander or things when you don't have a hand size. Honor Troll is still interesting. Introduction to Prophecy. Yeah, I don't think I want to pick that just because it could wheel. I honestly would rather like get the Introduction to Prophecy. Or the Necrotic Fumes. To deal with a problematic creature. Or you could get the Honor Troll. I think I'm just going to pick up this Introduction of Prophecy as a lesson. So we know, again, to prioritize learn spells and lessons and that. Let's see. Confront the past I don't care for. Containment Breach is definitely decent. It's a sideboard card. If we were playing traditional, I would definitely want it. It's not something I'm super worried about. Here it might be the Leyline Invocation. We could get another Strict Proctor, but we're definitely out of white. And it looks like we're leaning a lot more Quandrix. We also could take the Frost Trickster, as I think that's a really good creature. Yeah, let's take the Frost Trickster. I think the Leyline Invocation might wheel. The Arcane Subtraction, if we wanted to go a little heavier in the learn, I would pick up, but again, that might come back on a wheel. And I think that's more likely to come back on a wheel than something else. Professor of Zoomancy is good. That strikes my eye right away. Do we want another Witherbloom Pledge Mage? Pop Quiz, actually, though, with the Learn, draw a card, might just be the best card in the pack for us. I think that's a tough choice between these. But I think learning is going to be important for us in that. I don't really want another Kelpie Guide, even though they're interesting, and this card looks interesting, but I think the Pop Quiz is going to do more for us. Here we go with a lesson that does something along the same lines again. Can be really good. I really like the Vortex Runner. You guys know that I like that one. I'm also considering the Quandrix Pledge Mage, as that fits in more decks. It goes with the theme. Let's see, how many creatures do we have? 11 creatures. I don't think we really need the creature. The Mortality Spear's removal might be slightly better, but I think this lesson is just, it's practically removal, and it's just a little bit better. We're not in Silver Quill. Marcus's favorite Reflective Golem is here. So here, I wouldn't mind the Witherbloom if we're splashing black. I think both of these cards are fine and good, and I wouldn't mind the Introduction to Prophecy either. I think the Soothsayer Adept is just a good enough card, and it's gonna help us get there. Here, yeah, getting creative, any mana, any colored mana, I think helps. I like the Wormhole Serpent, as it lets you get through at the end. And the square up can be interesting. But I think just taking the creature that's a good creature and helps me splash some of these black cards and some other things might be good. The Campus Guide is interesting. Yeah, there's some good choices here, but I think that still being in the pack this late is something that we want to pay attention to. I really would like an Inkling Summoning or some more Fractal Summonings in our colors. Mage Duel is pretty good removal. It's usually can be one-sided. However, we already have one Quandrix Apprentice. And I hear the timer always. That's an interesting card. I don't know if it's good, but let's us draw some cards for different powers. So I think we'll do that. Honor Troll or Frost Trickster. The Needlethorn Drake is good. Let's take the Honor Troll. I haven't really played with that. And here, I'm going to take the Learn, just because I would like to pick up some more of the summoning lessons. And that gives me more things to do. I think we'll just take the Negate. I'm going to put it in the sideboard. I don't think we're playing Negate. I really like this Vortex Runner, but I'm tempted to take this Elemental Summoning just because it's a decent creature at the end. Or I run out of time and I forget to put a hold on anything. Okay, so we'll take the Waterfall Aerialist. I end up with the Biblioplex Assistant, which is fine. Which is a fine card. I definitely messed up there, or feel bad. We'll take the Square Up. I don't know that it makes the deck. We'll take the Curate. Yeah, I don't know that this Callous Blood Mage is good enough to splash. I think the Wormhole Serpent is the best card for us. We could take another Mage Hunter's Onslaught. We could take a Campus. We could take the Pledge Mage. I really just like having at least one Serpent to get in with like a big Witherbloom Pledge Mage or something. That 4 mana to send in a 5/5 unblockable can be big. Or you can use it on itself. It also doesn't tap, so if you have 8 mana, you can make 2 things unblockable. I don't want a second golden ratio, I'll tell you that for sure. Do I want a big play because it gives me counters, or do I just want a Waterfall Aerialist? Yeah, just shore up the flying, I think. The Kelpie Guide, though, is also not bad. No, we'll take... Yeah, I'm going to take the Kelpie Guide. These are common, and if we can pick up another one, I wouldn't mind having 2 of those, and there's one here, so we'll put a hold on that at least. Grape Shot I would take for the collection just because it's Grape Shot, but it's not the card we want. Zephyr Boots seems good, but we definitely went in with some flying already. Resculpt seems fine. We could get another Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Or this Spined Karok, but I think we'll take this Waterfall Aerialist. I think we've got a good set of creatures. We've got plenty of creatures. You can't cast permanent spells, so that's definitely not gonna happen here. Copy it if you control. Scry 1, then draw a card. That's interesting. I might play... Dina seems more interesting in... with what we're trying to do. I would really like... I think we want the environmental sciences to let us... Here, Serpentine Curve gives us another fractal. As I was saying, the environmental sciences lets us splash the couple of black removal, or the black removal card we have. We're going to put this and this in the sideboard. Yeah, the Professor of Zoomancy is also a good pick, but I think the Serpentine Curve gives us more fractals and is a little bit better with our biomathematicians. Ooh, I do want this Inkling Summoning a lot. Ephemerate is interesting with like Frost Tricksters, but we're not in white. We're not going to splash that. Witherbloom Command also looks... And Scurrid Colonies okay with reach. And that, since we're not in black, I think we're going to take the command. It's easier to splash, and it's going to do a little bit more. I think we'll take another pop quiz. The learn is going to be important. Again, every learn card is one less lesson we have to keep in the deck. And then we can get to do that. I also do like this Moldering Karok, but Pop Quiz and the Learn is going to be, I think, a little bit better for what we're building here. Tend the Pests is interesting. Pop Quiz again. Let's see, how many lessons do we have? I know we're running low on these things. The Bayou Groff is also pretty good. Here I'm thinking about the campus. We're trying to count lessons. 1, 2. We probably have enough. Learn spells for the amount of lessons that we have. I think we'll take another Biomathematician. They get better in pairs or in sets. And they're 2-for-1s because they create fractals and then they get better. Here we'll just take... I think Spined Karok. We'll look at our creatures. I think we've got enough creatures. We'll make some cuts. Okay, so Introduction to Prophecy is a lesson. This is a lesson. Yeah, I don't know that any of these matter. We'll take Square Up for the sideboard. Don't think we need another Aerialist. I'll take the lesson for the sideboard just in case. We'll take Infuse for the sideboard, and we'll take this Go Blink in the sideboard. I don't think it makes the main deck. All right, what we're looking for is lessons. I want to pull all my lessons out and see what I'm left with. And then we'll count our learns and figure out what we want to do there. So we got a Prismari campus and a Quandrix campus. Since we're heavy in the blue, I don't know if we're going to play the Prismari. Wish this had been now a Witherbloom, or either one of these being Witherbloom would have been a little bit nicer, but that's all right. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons. We've got a learn. It's 1, 2. That's 5. Yeah, and so we've got 5 learn cards. I'm going to cut an arcane subtraction. I think we'll have 4 learns. We don't necessarily need the expanded anatomy. We don't necessarily need the introduction to prophecy. Pest summoning is good. Environmental sciences early on will let us do things. The transformation will be good. So I think we'll do that. As far as a cut, let's look at our creatures. We have 19 creatures in here. So we can probably cut another creature, because this is a creature. I might cut the Spined Karok. I'm going to cut the square up. I don't think it's good enough for what we've got, because we've got to make at least 7 more cuts here. So I think the Befuddler can get cut. This is also a creature. Reckless Amplimancer is interesting. It can definitely be a threat at the end, or at late game at least. The real question is, even if we just cut the Mage Hunter's Onslaught, because Witherbloom Pledge Mage is just green, and then we don't need our swamps, and then maybe we can afford the Prismari campus. For Marcus sold me, if you watched our solid start, Marcus sold me on the campuses a little bit more, so I'm willing to leave them in as one off color, but gives us another chance to scry late game, and we could scry twice this way if we don't have better things to do. Okay, so let's see. We're at what I'm trying to count this one. I'm trying to do 12, 13, 14. We took out 3 lands, so let's add 2 forests and an island back in. Yeah, I don't know why it keeps wanting. I get that Witherbloom for swamps, but we don't need them. All right, so the problem is I don't know how to find the matching art. Here, is it just at the end? We said 1 island, so I have 7, 8, 9 blue sources. And then I have 8, 9 green sources, and I have 15, 16, 17 lands. Okay. So I like that. We still need to cut 5. We have plenty of creatures. A bunch of these non-creatures are creatures too. So I have actually 1, 2-ish, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have 20-ish creatures. Emergent Sequences is good. It stays. Soothsayer's fine. This will let us build some things. We might cut the Reckless Amplimancer. I don't know what it has to build. Excuse me. We could cut the Accomplished Alchemist now, since we're not playing really any black. And we've got other ways to ramp. And as a 2/5, it's not the greatest. I haven't played with a Biblioplex. I'm tempted to cut it, but I kind of like the idea of getting a card back. So Curate. Marcus argued hard for this one. I want to try and give it a chance. Getting back like an Emergent Sequence could be good. Getting back a Learn could be good. Getting back Witherbloom Command could be really good. Oh, we do have Witherbloom Command. That's why it wants the black. Yeah, I think we're going to cut it, though. I know that could be good, but I'm just going to go for consistency here. I don't want to have 3 swamps for Witherbloom Command, and then I don't want to be tempted to then bring in the Mage Hunter's Onslaught. And while I think it's good, I don't think it's going to be amazing for our deck, and it's not like we're going to lose consistency. Even getting a pop quiz back could be fine. I might cut a pop quiz. I don't know that we need 3 of them. Getting back Mage Duel can be really good in that it's a fight effect, so that's basically removal for us. Yeah, 3 more cuts, and I think they've got to be at least 1 more creature. And I wonder, well, let's look at our flyers and what we've got as far as, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flyers. So we could cut a Waterfall Aerialist. I don't want to cut my 5s. Those are really good. I think my 4s are good. I don't want to cut any more. I could see an argument for cutting Honor Troll or Spined Karok. I think Honor Troll is better than Spined Karok. I could also see an argument for cutting Golden Ratio. We could cut Reckless Amplimancer. Just looking at costs and what we have. So we have Golden Ratio is about different power, so that's power 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, a 3, a 2, a 5, and a 3. Yeah, we've just got too many 2s for me to feel like that's gonna draw me more than 2 cards. Which is a good drawing 2 cards is fine, but I think I'd rather scry and do that, and I've got to make a cut. So let's see. I don't mind cutting one more creature. I don't mind cutting something else. It could be this pop quiz. It's going to be a pop quiz. The pop quiz does let us learn, but we can recur it with the Biblioplex. So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3 lessons, or 3 learns, of which we have, let's see, what do we have again? The Pest Summoning, the Mercurial Transformation, which is basically removal, Environmental Sciences, Expanded Anatomy, and Introduction to Prophecy. Which cutting a pop quiz is kind of just means we don't get the Introduction to Prophecy. I mean, you're paying 6 mana to draw a card, scry 2, draw a card. I mean, it's not bad, but I don't mind losing it. All right, so we're gonna call that our deck, I think. So we ended up in Quandrix with some Witherbloom hybrid cards. We've got some decent learn. We've got a low curve here. I don't know how this is going to go. We've got some fractals and things. I unfortunately don't have anything that pays off having really fractals and +1/+1 counters other than these biomathematicians. But it could be fun. Getting a few of those in, getting in with the Wormhole Serpent. I don't know if this has a coherent strategy or not, but we ended up in some colors with some cards. So thanks for watching this draft portion. Find the next video for the games. And thanks for coming. If you like it, like the video, subscribe for more videos, and feel free to leave a comment if you think we should have built this different or made some different picks in the draft. I'd be curious to hear your opinions. All right, thanks.